Hi, and welcome to Mentors and Surrounding Yourself with the Right People, where in this two-part collection, you will learn why it's so important to have not only the right mentor, but also the right people around you. My name is Cal Hislop, and I'll be your guide through this course. I have an MBA from the United States, have lived and worked in the USA and Asia, and have been a university instructor since 2007 for the second-ranked university in South Korea. And I've compiled some of the most crucial lessons that far too many people never get the luxury of learning from their families or universities. This course is designed for anyone who wants to tap into the awaiting power of social connections and the influence it has on success. By the end of this course, you'll have a better understanding and more control over who to build your future with. In this course, we'll take a look at the 10 reasons why you need a mentor, 8 steps to find the right mentor, 1 powerful question to ask a potential mentor, how you are the average of those you spend time with, 7 reasons to choose friends carefully, how to attract the right people, and more. The ideal student for this course is someone who realizes the effect others have on a person's future and want to make the most out of these opportunities. So take a closer look at the course description and start today. Great, see you soon. Okay, so here we are to begin the 7th core lesson in our entire 12 core lesson course. This particular lesson is on mentors. Are you familiar with what a mentor is? Well, if not, you're about to find out. And the focus here today is finding the right mentors. So what's our quote of the day? It goes like this. If you'll read along with me over here, a mentor is someone who sees more talent and ability within you than you see in yourself and helps bring it out of you. Now, that sounds pretty valuable, doesn't it? In today's lesson, we're going to go over, number 1, our introduction and mystery question as usual. Then we'll look at the importance of mentors, finding the right mentors, and then we'll wrap up with mystery question answered. So let's get into it. Heroes. You're familiar with what a hero is, right? Well, the definition is a hero is a person who is admired or idolized for courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities. Can you think of a few heroes? Who comes to mind? Well, superheroes, of course, and everyday heroes. Many of us had a hero as a child. They may have been superheroes like Superman or Iron Man, which is really popular today, or they could have been people in heroic professions such as police officers and firefighters, even our parents, of course. Having a hero to look up to who is related to your major or industry is a valuable thing. We can learn a lot from people's mistakes, successes, and overall experience. Do you remember this photo or this collection of photos? These heroes may be the successful people you've heard about and can read about. However, you most likely will never communicate with them or meet them. Most likely, but who knows? A mentor, on the other hand, is an experienced and trusted advisor. This is somebody that you will meet and you'll probably become quite close to because, as it says in the definition, they're a trusted advisor. So you need this relationship. So I have a question for you. Do you have a hero in life? Your parents? Someone you've read about? Someone you've heard about? Most of us do. But how about a mentor? Do you have a mentor yet? Or do you have anyone in mind? Well, we're not going to focus so much on heroes in this lesson. However, we are going to focus on mentors and getting a mentor or mentors for you and your success in your career and your success in life. So, how do you get a mentor? Well, just ask. Mentors want to help, but they don't want to waste their time. Mentors don't want to give advice to people when there is little likelihood that someone will follow through with that advice. So, if you want to find a mentor, you have to have the right approach because you can't simply ask someone to be your mentor. Having a mentor is a relationship that must develop over time. Experts say that the best approach to getting a mentor is to ask him or her one powerful question. And that's my question to you. What one powerful question do you think you would ask a person for them to become your mentor? What is that one powerful question you can ask? Think about that over the rest of this particular core lesson and see what comes to mind. The answer might be a little surprising. Okay, so let's recap what we looked over in this particular section. We looked at what a hero is versus a mentor. Then we talked a little bit about how to get a mentor. And finally, the mystery question was, what one powerful question should you ask someone in order to build this mentor relationship? Having said that, let's go ahead and get ready for the next section of this core lesson on mentors. Why should you have a mentor? So in this next section, we want to take a closer look at why you need a mentor in your life and the importance of having that mentor or mentors. And let's revisit what a mentor is. A mentor is a source of wisdom. A mentor is someone who is already experienced in your field or industry and has a wealth of knowledge that they want to provide you so you don't make the same mistakes as they've made, or you can go into a certain direction that they know will benefit you, that's in line with the goals you've set for yourself. Also, they help you with growth and development. They're almost like a parent to you. Yes, they have a source of wisdom, and with that source of wisdom, they take on the role of helping you go throughout the steps to become more than you are today. They help you with that growing process. Again, a mentor takes a long range view of your growth and development. They're not here just to help you with a few things today and a few things perhaps tomorrow. It's a relationship that builds over time. Your mentor may be someone you continue to have a relationship for years to come because they've taken a vested interest in helping you go from good to great. Also, a mentor helps you see the destination but does not give you the detailed map to get there. Your mentor is a guide, a teacher, but they're not there to tell you exactly what to do. After all, this is your life. And of course, they respect that. When it comes time for you to make decisions, they may help you weigh each decision so you can make the best choice possible. And a mentor offers encouragement and cheerleading, but not how-to advice. Mentors are there to boost you so that you have the confidence to go after the goals you set in life. So let's look at 10 reasons why you need a mentor. Number 1, mentors provide information and knowledge. Well, we already talked about this. Mentors are usually very experienced in their fields or just experienced adults. And through that experience, they are able to impart their knowledge and wisdom to you. Number 2, mentors can see where we need to improve when we often cannot see that. Again, mentors have been there, done that. Sometimes we can't really take a step back and look at ourselves from another perspective. However, a mentor can, because after all, they are not us. And with that wisdom that they hold, they can see where you might be going in the wrong direction or the right direction and point out what areas that you need to focus on for improvement. 3, mentors stimulate our personal and professional growth. A mentor, again, as we just said, they're cheerleaders in a sense. They want to push us in the right direction so that we become better tomorrow than we are today. Mentors are a sort of catalyst to make change happen. 4, mentors offer encouragement and help keep us going. There are going to be times when we run into certain challenges and we might second guess ourselves and doubt, are we really going to be successful or not? And have we made the right decision? Mentors keep us on the right path and help us push forward through the difficult times. 5, mentors are disciplinarians that create necessary boundaries that we cannot set for ourselves. So if we're going in the wrong direction, or we're making decisions that maybe aren't in our best interest, or we're participating in some sort of behavior that's not beneficial for us, a mentor can step back and let us know point blank, what you're doing is not in your best interest. Stop doing this. Instead, start doing something else. There's that parent relationship. 6, mentors are sounding boards, so we can bounce ideas off them for an unfiltered opinion. Mentors are going to help us make better decisions because when we have ideas, we can run those ideas across a mentor and they're going to be truthful with us. Is this a good idea or is it a bad idea? And what changes should be made? 7, mentors are trusted advisors. These days we can't always trust people in our industry. It's a competitive world. However, your mentor is in no way your competition. They're here for the sole purpose of building a relationship and helping you in one form or fashion. 8, mentors can become connectors. Now, since a mentor is already established in their industry, they probably already have a vast network and several connections. They know a lot of people. Now, that's great for you, especially regarding our previous core lesson on networking. Mentors can help you connect with other people who in turn can help you back. 9, we can learn from mentors' experiences and mistakes. Other people's mistakes and other people's experiences are such valuable information because they can either put us on the right direction or even better, they can prevent us from making certain mistakes. And mistakes can be costly. They can cost money and time. Wouldn't you want to be able to stop a mistake before it happens? And number 10, mentors are free, which makes them priceless in more ways than one. A mentor's motivation is not to get something from you, at least nothing monetary. You shouldn't ever pay a mentor for their time. The real reason they're helping you is because, they have this connection to you. They want to build a relationship. They want to help someone who is going to go through a similar process that they went through. Remember, one of the core needs that people have is to help others. And that's a mentor. However, there are some misconceptions that you want to keep in mind regarding mentors. Number 1, it's a misconception to believe that mentoring is about me, that it's all a one-way street, that you who is being mentored just gets, and the mentor just gives. It's a relationship. And remember, relationships are two-way streets. You want to somehow give back to your mentor. It's a misconception to think that being mentored is more passive than active. It's not just you listening to a mentor and taking in information. You need to act on that information. This is crucial. Remember, an idea is worthless without action, so be prepared to act. It's a misconception to think that you need to wait for a mentor to find you. This almost never happens. You need to be, again, proactive. Go out, seek out a mentor, build a relationship, because if you don't, you just might not find a mentor. And finally, the fourth misconception is that you should ask someone up front to be mentored. Don't ever do that. That's incredibly awkward. Never say, "Will you be my mentor?" Mentoring is a serious relationship. There's a big responsibility on both sides of the relationship. To be a mentor, you really need to put in a lot of effort and focus on you, the mentee. So don't just ask someone to be a mentor. You need to build that relationship up. And we're going to talk about that soon, which is our next topic, how to find the right mentor. So let's recap about the importance of mentors. We looked quickly at what a mentor's role is. We looked at 10 reasons of why to have a mentor, and we looked at some of the misconceptions. So having said that, let's get ready for the next section, which is about how to find your mentor. Great. Now you have a better understanding of the importance of mentors and really why you should spend time to identify a mentor and build that relationship, because it's really going to affect your career and your life in positive ways. Now we want to figure out, how do you find the right mentor for you? So let's take a look at that process. We're going to cover 8 steps to help find the right mentor for you. But before we begin, as usual, get out some paper and pen so you can take some notes. Number 1, find someone you want to be like. This might take a little bit of time and research, but don't be discouraged. You'll find somebody quicker than you think. Identify a handful of people who you would like to be like. Make sure that they are fairly local so it's reasonable to meet them. Remember, these are people who you need to build a relationship with. You need some one-on-one, face-to-face time. Then choose people who have qualities that you would like to have yourself. Don't simply choose someone because they have a great job or make a lot of money. You don't want to be superficial. Remember, we're looking for someone who is able to help you become more like they are regarding their philosophy, their skill sets, and their experience. Also, take the time to do some research of people in your industry, in your major, in your field, if you can't already quickly name 3 to 5 people. So, what I'd like you to do is make a list of people who you might like to emulate, who you might like to be like. Are they local in your area? If not, where are they? Remember, we want to be as local as possible so you can meet them. And what qualities do they have that you admire? What qualities, personal or professional, do you like about them? Take a moment and try to answer these questions on your piece of paper. Number 2, you'll need to study the person, at least a little bit. What I want you to do is learn more about each of these persons you've written down. Google them. See if you can find their blogs. Visit their social media. I'm sure they're somewhere online. And make a list of what you think their personal strengths are and their personal weaknesses might be. You'll come up with better ideas as you research them a little bit more. So start with Google. Choose one person, Google them. What pops up? You might be surprised. Do they have a possible book, a blog? Are they on social media? Check out their Facebook account if they have one, Twitter account if they have one, LinkedIn account, which they probably do. Then number 3, ask for a short meeting. However, don't ask them to be your mentor at any point. Remember, that's a no-no question. Instead, ask for that short meeting and try to keep it, 30 minutes to an hour. Short and simple. You don't want to burden them in any way. You want to make this as comfortable as possible. So make it informal, perhaps grab a cup of coffee. Try to have that natural conversation, but bring along a few specific questions with you that you would like to ask them to learn more about them and their perspective on things. Write down 3 questions you might ask each of these individuals. Now, depending on the person, you might have different questions. Who knows? Try to individualize your questions. Make them more specific to each of the persons that you are potentially meeting. What advice would you like from them? What would you like to know more about them personally? Would you like to know the struggles they've encountered? Would you like to know their biggest accomplishments? Would you like to know just general advice they might have for you? 4, evaluate each meeting after the fact, after you've actually finished and completed each of these meetings. Ask yourself, if you'd like to spend more time with this person. If you had a good feeling and you want to spend possibly more time with this person and build a relationship, great. Maybe they're the mentor for you. Did they encourage you more or tell you what to do more? Remember, a good mentor is not someone who's telling you how to do things. Instead, they're guiding you in a general direction. So, if they're encouraging, there's another green flag that maybe this person is a potential good mentor. And did you leave the meeting feeling inspired and better about yourself? If so, fantastic. If you get a green flag for all three of these, then this person might really be the mentor you're looking for. Number 5, follow up with those you hope to see again. Now, let's say you have 5 meetings. Some of these meetings might not go as you expected. You might not get that good feeling and encouragement from some of these people. So you might scratch them off your list as potential mentors. However, those that you do want to keep on your list, you want to follow up with. And there's a specific way you might want to do that. Number 1, after you choose a potential mentor or mentors, send an email or a text within 24 hours and kindly thank them for their time. That's just good etiquette, good manners. Then let them know that you would like to meet again sometime. Don't put anything specific down yet because you want to get a feel. You want reciprocation. You want that feeling that they also enjoyed their meeting and might like to spend some more time with you again in the future. And if they seem willing to meet again, then take advantage of that. Offer to get something on the calendar as soon as possible. Make a date. Set a time. But of course, don't set that time too soon after your initial meeting. 6, let the relationship grow naturally. So fantastic. You've planted that seed of a relationship. Now you want to let it grow as it normally would. You don't want to push it. This is the start of a relationship. Hopefully a long-lasting, mutually beneficial relationship. Don't try to label this person as your mentor just yet. That takes a little bit more time. Be sure to listen to their advice, apply that advice in your life, and let them know how things work out. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to this one. This one is key. Let me repeat this one more time. Be sure to listen to their advice. Then apply that advice in your life. Take action. Make things happen. And then, after you've done it and you've put in the effort and time and tried, let them know how things have worked out. Mentors will really appreciate it because it shows that you've really listened to them and you've taken the time to implement their advice. 7, expect challenging times. That's just the nature of things, right? Real growth requires challenge. We don't really grow without that challenge. Expect your mentor to push you at times. Yes, your mentor is a guide, but they're also there as that parent figure in a sense. And that parent figure is going to push you in times of challenge throughout obstacles so that you become better tomorrow than you are today. And be willing to push yourself and accept criticism for your mentor. Criticism is a necessary thing. At least constructive criticism is. Listen to that criticism and use it to your benefit. And don't be afraid to ask for feedback. But if you do, again, make sure you act on that feedback. And finally, number 8, don't give up. Stay committed. Mentoring takes time and effort. And throughout that time and effort, you've got those obstacles and challenges. Some people give up way too early. And remember, you only fail when you give up. So over time, this relationship should benefit both you and your mentor in several ways. Learn from the overall experience because one day you will be the mentor most likely. You will have developed the experience, the skills, the understanding to mentor someone else potentially at one point in the future. So I want to leave you here with one important note. Remember Keith Ferrazzi, the author of the book Never Eat Alone? He made a special point that he doesn't want people to forget, and that is make an effort to identify somehow how you can give back to your mentor. Now, this might not be obvious at first, but as the relationship grows and as you better understand your mentor, you'll find ways to give back. Make sure you do that. Now that you've taken the time to go through the process of better identifying potential mentors, I want you to get out your Identifying a Mentor worksheet and looking at the notes that you've taken just recently, put that into this particular worksheet. Real quick, there are 1, 2, 3 examples, all the same information. With potential mentor number 1, put in that person's name. Then, what do you like about this person? What qualities do you admire? From there, list any resources where you can learn more about them. These may be books, blogs, social media, etc. Finally, list these 3 questions that you would like to ask them regarding their advice, potentially your major, your industry, or their lives. Keep this information handy so the next time you get ready to meet any of your potential mentors, you'll be ready for that meeting. Okay, so let's recap our 8 steps to find the right mentor. Number 1, identify people that you want to be like. 2, study them, do your research, Google them. 3, get that short meeting over coffee or something like that. Remember, 30 minutes to an hour is fantastic. 4, after the meeting, evaluate that meeting. Did you get a green flag or a red flag regarding them being mentor quality? 5, follow up with those who you would like to continue a relationship with. 6, let the relationship grow naturally. Remember, don't push it. 7, expect these challenging times. They happen to everyone, so you don't give up. And finally, stay committed. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls. Now you have a much clearer idea on how to find the mentor that you need and you want. Let's get ready for the final section of this core lesson, Mystery Question Answered. So here we are at the end of our core lesson on mentors and mentorship. Do you remember the mystery question that I asked you? Well, if we go back to it, I asked that you should ask your mentor or potential mentor one powerful question. So what is that one powerful question you should ask? The answer to this probably will be different than you were expecting. What you should do is ask the person who you want to be your mentor one powerful question. And this question is really up to you. You want to ask a question where the answer will be meaningful to you and you can apply in your life. I'm not giving you the question to ask. You need to come up with the question to ask. And that question must be meaningful to you and something that you can apply in your life. Now stay with me. From there, you need to go and actually implement that advice. You need to take action. You need to do the work. What's powerful here is when you are looking for this potential mentor and you ask them a compelling question, they're going to want to know, are you listening and are you going to take that advice? Show them that you are and that you will. Listen to them, take action, try your best to make things work, and then go back to them and say, look, I was listening. I took your advice and made these things happen. Now, maybe you were successful with whatever this particular question and advice was. Maybe you weren't successful. Maybe you failed. That's okay. The point is, you put in the time and effort to take that advice. And that's a huge stepping stone to that mentor-mentee relationship. And don't forget, become the teacher. Is there anybody who could benefit from a mentor that you know? Any family, younger brothers or sisters? Any friends? What are their thoughts on mentors? Take what you've learned here today and have a conversation with these people. Also, is there anybody that you can actually mentor now? Sure, you might not have a wealth of experience or skill sets, but I'm sure you have something that you can give back. All right, that concludes our lesson on mentors. Let's get ready for the next core lesson, finding the right people to be in your life and excluding the wrong people. See you soon. Okay, welcome back to our next core lesson. I have a question for you. Are you spending your time with the right people? Well, that's our lesson today. It's about surrounding yourself with the right people and not the wrong people. So let's start out as usual with our quote of the day. Surround yourself with good people. Surround yourself with positivity and people who are going to challenge you to make you better. In today's lesson, we're going to first, as usual, look at our introduction and mystery question. From there, we'll go on to why friends and acquaintances, why you want those, specifically the right ones. We'll go over some simple but good advice for you to take about choosing the right people. Then we'll talk about attracting the right people to you. And finally, we'll go ahead and wrap things up with mystery question answered. So let's get right into things. As usual, I'd like you to get out a little bit of paper and a pen or pencil, and we're going to do a little bit of note taking. What I'd like you to do is think of your friends. Think of your family, fellow students, and anyone else you spend your time with. Now, number one, I want you to think of people you spent time with yesterday. Go ahead and write down their names. Take a minute, think about it. Who did you spend most of your time with yesterday? We'll push pause for a second. Then, number two, think of the people you spent time with mostly last week. Write their names down. Remember, mostly the last 7 days. Push pause, write down their names. Okay, finally, think of the people you spend most of your time with generally. Take a look at your paper. Are these the same people? Do the same names pop up? Well, probably so. Now, I want you to keep those people in mind. Now you have a list of names. What I want you to do now is limit that list of names to the top 5 people that you spend time with. Who are they? Go ahead right now, circle the top 5 people that you spend time with on a regular basis. Push pause, take a moment. Fantastic. Now you have the top 5 people that you spend time with, and you have their names. From there, what I want you to do is take a few minutes, write down any positive and negative qualities you see in each of those 5 people. So take person number 1, write down their name, and under that name, do like I have here with positive qualities and negative qualities. For example, with positive qualities, you could say this person is honest, responsible, and hardworking. Fantastic. Now, do they have any negative qualities? For example, maybe someone's arrogant or lazy or cynical. They just have a bad attitude. Take a moment with each of these persons and write down a couple positive qualities and if they have a couple negative qualities in your opinion. Definitely push pause now so you can take time to write these things down. Fantastic. Let's get to that mystery question you've been expecting. Why did I ask you to choose these 5 people? Any guesses? And why would I ask you to list their positive and negative qualities? Well, keep that in mind as we progress throughout this core lesson. Let's recap on what we went over in this little section regarding introduction and mystery question. Number 1, I asked you, who do you spend most of your time with, especially recently? Then, who are the top 5 people that you spend time with? What are their positive and possibly negative qualities? Oh, and I can't forget the mystery question, why these 5 people? Okay, that's it for this section. Let's go ahead and get ready for the next one, friends and acquaintances. Okay. So let's talk about why you should have not only the right friends, but also the right acquaintances. But before we talk about that, let's look at the differences between friends and acquaintances. What is a friend? Well, by definition, a friend is a person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond of mutual affection. It should be pretty obvious to everyone what a friend is. However, what about an acquaintance? An acquaintance is a little bit different than a friend. They're a person that you just know slightly. An acquaintance is someone you spend time with on a rarer basis. You don't really know them that well. So let's talk about friends first. Interestingly enough, research shows that the people who we spend the most time with greatly impacts our thoughts and our behavior. The friends that you're hanging out with and spending time, whether you knew it or not, consciously or subconsciously, they're having an effect on your thoughts and your behavior. Actually, you may be more likely to gain weight if your close friend also gains weight, and perhaps vice versa. Studies show that happiness is also directly related to our colleagues and our friends, which also includes our acquaintances. The people that you hang around with has a direct effect on your smile. Let's talk about 7 reasons to choose your friends carefully so you can better understand if you are making the right decisions when it comes to your friends. Number 1, your friends have great influence over you. Friends can bring out the best in you or the worst in you. Their moods and behavior can and will influence your own mood and behavior. Are your friends usually in a good mood or a bad mood? Is their behavior the type that you would want for yourself? Number 2, you'll grow with strong-willed friends. Friends with discipline, friends with determination, and friends with ambition will help you grow simply by being around them. 3, they help build you up for success. The right friends can encourage you to be persistent and focus on your goals and doing what's right. The wrong friends will put you down, joke about your goals, and slow you down on your road to success. You don't want those kind of people. 4, wrong friends can cause you to be counterproductive. Constantly negative friends are toxic. That's very dangerous. This negatively will distract you and prevent you from growing. It will also start to become a part of how you see the world. So be very careful of people like this. 5, close friends are the secret to living a long and happy life. Good friends who are close friends add to your benefit in many ways. One of the most interesting ones that has a physical effect on you is that these people help you actually live longer. Studies show that people with a large network of friends and a few close friends will outlive their counterparts by 22%. Humans are social animals, and whether you like it or not, people need human connections to thrive. Number 6, friends can inspire you. The right friends will encourage you to succeed just as you should do the same with your friends. Each time a friend takes interest in your life, that gives you a boost to proceed and go further. If your friends never encourage you, then perhaps they're not really your friends. And number 7, friends can serve as an example to you. When a friend does well, accomplishes something of importance, or does a good deed, that behavior will serve as an example for you, thus making it more likely you will learn from their experiences and possibly do the same things as they have. Of course, the opposite is also true. If your friends mostly drink beer or play video games, you will probably do the same more so than if you did not know them. How will that type of behavior affect your life, your future, and your success? But what about acquaintances? These are the people that you aren't too close to and you don't know that well. It is commonly known that the best way to improve a skill is to practice it, and to practice it with someone who is better than you, whether it's soccer or chess or video games. This translates into your personal and career success. It's important to surround yourself with other successful people, and better yet, those who are more skilled than you. This way, you're much more likely to learn from these people intentionally and unintentionally. That's really good advice. Choose your friends carefully and choose your acquaintances carefully. And to recap this particular section, we looked at the difference between a friend and an acquaintance. Then we looked at the impact of who we spend time with has on ourselves, whether it's intentional or unintentional. We also looked at 7 reasons to choose your friends carefully. And we looked at how having the right acquaintances can really benefit you in so many different ways. Okay, let's get ready for the next section, some simple but good advice. So, having talked about why to have the right people in your life, having talked about friends, and having talked about acquaintances, I have some simple but good advice for you that I'll hope you'll really consider and put into action into your life. So let's take a look at 4 particular pieces of advice I think you'll find quite valuable, especially if you implement them. So, starting with number 1, spend time with people who are smarter than you. It might be common for people to want to be the smartest person in the room. It happens all the time. But that may only make you feel better. It doesn't really help you grow. It doesn't really help you develop. And it doesn't really help you reach your goals. However, being around smarter people than you can really pay off. These people can consciously and unconsciously challenge us to be better in our thoughts and our behaviors. So look for people who are more skilled. Look for people who are just more intelligent. Look for people who are more successful than you. And make friends. Spend time and surround yourself with those people. Number 2, get to know people who have already accomplished the same goals that you're looking to accomplish. When you get to know others who have already accomplished the things you hope to accomplish, you can learn a great deal from them that you certainly cannot learn from textbooks and theory. That's the thing about education and university. Generally, it's textbooks and theory, but not necessarily practice. But what you can learn from people who have already gone through the process you're about to go through, that can be golden. You can be aware of the tips and tricks to get things done, the people to meet and talk to, the best direction to follow, and the mistakes to be careful of since they may have already made those mistakes. This information, as I said, can be priceless. 3, if you can't form relationships with these people, then what should you do? Make them friends in your head. It may not always be possible to develop relationships with the people who have already accomplished some of the goals you seek to achieve. That's understandable. So, what's the next best thing? Find people who have already successfully achieved what you hope to achieve and follow them on social media. Listen to their podcasts. Read their blogs. Read the books and biographies about these people. Soak up information that's available. Learn from them from afar. That's the idea of friends in your head. Not actual friends, but those heroes you can follow from afar. And number 4, and this is really important, say goodbye to the negative people and the naysayers. Remember that the wrong friends are the wrong decisions. This is especially true with negative people. These individuals are, as I said earlier, toxic. People who always complain, people who make fun of others, people who say you can't or you shouldn't work hard for your goals and doubt your abilities. These people, although they may seem to be friends, don't deserve to be active participants in your life. You should think seriously about ending that friendship. Furthermore, take a look at your own attitude. If you're a person who always complains and looks down on others, you should seriously think about why your attitude is the way it is and change it. Otherwise, you'll become your own worst enemy and will block your own path to success. So, I really think this is fantastic advice for you to take in order to surround yourself with the right people and not the wrong people. Let's go over quickly what we talked about. Number 1, surround yourself with people who are smarter than you, more successful than you as well. 2, surround yourself with people who have already accomplished the same goals you want to accomplish. And if you can't find those people, then the next best thing is to have friends in your head. Seek out people who have accomplished those goals that you're trying to accomplish and read more about them. Learn from their successes and their failures. And finally, very important, stay away from the negative people and the naysayers, those people who don't have faith in what you can accomplish. Disregard those ideas. Okay, so there you have it with 4 pieces of advice. Let's get ready for the next section, attracting the right people. Now, how do you attract the right people? Well, in order to do so, I want to put you on the right track. And in order to do that, we have a worksheet specifically designed to get you on that track. So if you'll take a moment, get out your worksheet titled none other than The Right People Worksheet. I'll give you a second to grab that. Push pause. So we're going to go throughout 6 different steps to help you get on the right track to attracting the right people. Number 1 asks you to refer back to your goal setting worksheet. Now, regarding those goals, revisit where you want to be in the future. So what are your goals? Look at your short-term goals. How about your long-term goals? Make a few general notes on today's worksheet in number 1 of the goals section regarding these questions. Go ahead and push pause and make those notes now. Now, after you've completed number 1, let's go over to number 2. What types of people have accomplished those specific goals? Go ahead and push pause again and fill out that section. Then let's go on to number 3. What qualities, skills, and characteristics do you need to get in order to reach these goals and become more like the people you've listed earlier? Make a list of these skills in section 3. Go ahead and push pause again and fill out that section. Then onto the next page, number 4, what action, what can you specifically do about getting those skills and attributes? List any possible actions that come to mind. If you can't think of something, get on Google again and just simply type in, how do I get this particular skill? Make a list of those avenues that you can take in order to get those skills. So go ahead and push pause again and take the time to research and then write down those actions. From there, let's go to number 5. Where do these particular types of people meet outside of work? For example, what organizations do they belong to? What clubs, what events do they attend? Where do they spend their time online and offline? Again, this is going to take some research on your part, but it's well worth it. Get on Google again, get on the internet. Ask people in the industry later if you have time. Where do these people spend their time outside of work? Push pause again and do the work. Then finally on to number 6. Which of these organizations that you've identified in number 5, which of these events and which of these places can you involve yourself in? Which ones interest you the most? Put those into number 6. Go ahead and push pause again and fill out that section. Now, you've taken the time to answer number 1, look at your goals. 2, list these types of people who have accomplished those goals. 3, write down the qualities and skills and characteristics needed to acquire them. Basically, what kind of person do you need to become? 4, what actions can you take in order to realize what's listed above? What can you do to get those skills? 5, where do these people that you've listed in number 2 spend their time? What organizations and events do they attend? And then finally, 6, which of these organizations, events, and places listed above can you get involved in? Now you know what action to take. Get involved in getting these skills and get involved in being around the same places these people you've identified are. Join these organizations. Go to these events. Take action. Okay, so that was a quick worksheet, 6 steps to help you identify and put you on the right track to attracting the right people. Now, don't feel discouraged. It might seem like you can actually get those skills too quickly or meet these people too quickly. But if you take the time to fill out this worksheet as best you can, and you take action in order to acquire those skills and to put yourself in the same environment that these other people spend their time, the next thing you know, you're going to start attracting the right people. I promise you. So please take this advice, go throughout the worksheet, and implement it in your life. Okay, let's get ready for the final section of this course, Mystery Question Answered. Now, here we are at the end of this core lesson on choosing the right people to be in your life and getting rid of the bad people. I like to end this with the mystery question answered. And if you'll recall from the beginning of this lesson, I asked you to look at the people you spend the most time with, the most time you spent with yesterday, last week, and generally. From there, I asked you to choose the top 5 people that you spend time with. Now you've identified those top 5 people, and not only did you do that, you identified their positive and negative qualities. So can you guess, why did I ask you to identify the 5 people you spend the most time with and their positive and negative qualities? Any guesses? Well, something pretty interesting happens when you hang out with these particular 5 people. Jim Rohn once said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." And this happens to be scientifically accurate. The people you spend the most time with, they rub off on you. They influence you directly and indirectly. You take on the qualities, both positive and negative, of those 5 people. Now, this may happen quickly or it may happen slowly, but it still happens. Take another look at those positive qualities. Take another look at those negative qualities. Are these positive qualities the ones you want? And are these negative qualities ones you want to stay away from? It might seem unfair or a little bit cruel, but these 5 people you want to make sure are the people who are going to be making you better for today and in the future. And if they're not, you should do something about that. So consider that seriously. And don't forget, once again, become the teacher. Now, do you have any friends or family who are hanging around the wrong people? If so, talk to them. Do you have friends or family who are hanging around the right people? Congratulate them. And yourself, be one of those positive persons so that those around you will benefit just from your presence. Take what you've learned today and spread the good news. All right, guys and girls, that wraps it up for this core lesson on the right people. Stay tuned for the next one, embracing failure and learning from it.